Hello guys, and welcome to this Python course. Here you can learn all the fundamentals that you need to know about Python. In every programming language, including Python, you need to know these 5 core concepts. The first one is variables. Second is if statements. The third is very important, arrays. The fourth, loops. And the last one is functions. So let's start. Let's speak about variables. So here we have an apple. What is apple? Apple is a fruit. So variable, it means something is attributed to a part of something. For example, in this case, fruit is an apple. So basically, apple, we say, what is apple? Apple is a fruit. So how we think about variables? Variable has a name and a value. So it means variable, it's like we say something is something. For example, fruit. Now fruit is an apple. Apple is a fruit. So in this case, fruit is a variable name and apple is a value. So fruit equal apple, it's a variable. And apple, we need to write either in double quotation mark or in single quotation mark. Both are right. We have 3 types of variables. String is a text, and we write string either in quotation mark, in double quotation mark, either in single quotation mark. So string is a text. Integer is a whole number, no decimals. It can be, for example, 1, it can be -1, but it's always whole number, no decimals. Float is also a number, but with decimals. For example, 1.0 is a float. Let's see this in example. Fruit equal apple, it's a string. Price equal 1, it's an integer. And the price equal 1.00, it's a float because it has decimals. You can also add 2 integers or floats with plus operator. For example, a equal 1, b equal 2. If you want to do a plus b, we write like this, a plus b, and it will give us 3. When we want to add one string to another, we again can use plus operator. When we want to say hello Diana, you can write hello and then plus and then Diana, or you can write a plus b and it will give us hello Diana. But here, if you notice, there isn't white space. If you want a white space, then you can write a plus empty string and then b, and it will give us a white space. So basically, let's repeat. What is a variable? Variables are containers for storing data values. Also, when you want to write a variable name, remember these rules. Variable name must start with a letter or underscore character. A variable name cannot start with a number. Let's learn if statements. What is an if statement? If statement runs a block code if condition is true. Let's bring examples in real life, like using an umbrella if it's raining. For example, you take an umbrella if it's raining. You wear a coat when it's cold. And if statement we usually write with if. Let's see an example. For example, let's imagine that in our website you can only enter if your age is more than 18. So we will write a code. If age more than 18, print you are an adult. So if the age is 19, this statement will be true because age 19 is more than 18. But what if the condition is not true? Then we will use else. So if we use if the condition is true and else if the condition is not true. For example, you will take an umbrella if it's raining. So this part you will write with if because it's true. It's raining and you take an umbrella. But if it's not raining, so if the condition is not true, you don't take an umbrella. This part you will write with else because the condition is false. It's not raining and you don't need an umbrella. Let's see an example. For example, let's imagine age equals 15. So if age is more than 18, then print you are an adult. Else, so if the condition is not true, if a person is not an adult, if a person is not more than 18 years old, then print you are not an adult. And in this case, if someone writes that his or her age is 15, then it will print you are not an adult. What if we don't have two conditions? We have 3, 4 or more conditions. Then we need to use elif. Let's see an example. For example, imagine that children under 14 years old, for them, for example, the museum ticket is free. So you will write in this case if a person is under 14 years old. Then we have another condition from 14 till 17 years old. These people are teenagers. So this condition you will write elif. And the other people, it means if the people are not 14, under 14, and if people are not from 14 to 17, this we will use already else, and this will be already more than 18 years old. For example, if age is under 14, then print you are a child. Then elif the another case, if age is till 17, from 13 till 17, then print you are a teenager. And in other case, it means already the other cases all together. If a person is more than 18 years old, you are an adult. So if you have more than one condition, you need to use elif. Let's learn about Python arrays. What is an array? Array is a collection of values. For example, this box. In this box, there are a lot of fruits. So array is like this. It's like a box. And in the array, there are lots of values. Box is an array. Apple is a variable. Banana is another variable. Grapes is another variable. For example, we have fruits 1 equal apple, fruits 2 banana, fruits 3 grapes, but it's very long. If we don't want to write the variables separately, then we can combine and put all the variables in one array. We can write fruit, and in the fruit array, we can put and apple variable, and banana, and grapes. We need also to understand what does it mean index. Index shows each value position in array. And you need to remember that index starts from 0. So apple, it's a 0. If you write index 0, then it will show an apple. So apple, it's a 0. Banana, it's 1. And grapes, it's 2. Let's see an example. When we write fruit equal and put all the fruits in one array, apple, banana, and grapes, and then if we want to take only the second, if we want to show only the second value, then we can write like this, a equal fruit 2, and print a. And now it will show only grapes, because grapes index is 2. So with index, we can call different variables from array. If we want to add a variable in an array, we can use append. If we want to add a variable in a specific index, then we use insert. In this example, we write 1, so it means kiwi will be in one position. So apple, kiwi, 0, 1, right? Apple 0, kiwi 1. So kiwi will be in the first position. Pop. With pop method, we delete a variable. If you want to delete banana, we can write just pop 1. And now the banana's index is 1, so it will remove banana. Now let's learn about len. Index, it showed each value position in an array. And len, it shows length of an array. And one more thing, you need to remember index starts from 0. So when you count, you need to count 0, 1, 2. And len, it shows the length of an array, so it starts from first, from 1. For index, apple will be 0. So apple's index is 0. But when we count for len, we count apple 1, banana 2, grapes 3. Let's see an example. If you write print len fruit, then it will show 3. Apple 1, banana 2, grapes 3, so total 3. So the length of an array is 3. Let's learn about Python loops. What is a loop? Loop runs the same code over and over again, as long as the condition is true. Let's imagine we have a game, and we need to roll dice until the result is 6. So the code will work and work until we will roll the dice and the result will show 6. So this is the loop. We have two types of loop, while and for. Let's start from while. While loop is best to use when you don't know how many times the code should run. For example, in this dice example, we don't know how many times can we roll the dice until we got 6. So this time we will use a while. Let's see an example. Count equal 1, while count is less or equal 5. So print count. And count plus equal 1. So in this example, it will show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the count will be less and equal 5. And this is the point when the loop will stop. And when we use for? Use for when we know exactly how many times the code should run. The same for we can write for I in a range. Range, it means from something to something. Range 1 to 6, print I. We write 6 because if we write from 1 to 6, it means 6 is not included till 6. So it will show us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We also can use nested loop. What does it mean, nested loop? It means when two loops are together. One loop is inside of the another loop. For example, in loop 4, it can be while. Let's see an example. For example, for I in range 3, it means from 1 to 3. And if x is less than 2, print hello. So you have 1, 2, and while x is less than 2, and this will show hello 6 times, because while loop works 3 times. Let's learn about Python functions. What is a function? Function holds a piece of code that does specific task. So basically function takes some data, like input, then it does something with this data, and returns the data changed. So how can we create a function? We create a function with def. We write def. Then we write the name of the function. And then we define the input. So basically what we are going to count. So let's see an example. If we want to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, so we have if we want to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, we can use a function. And as you see in this example, we write def, then Fahrenheit to Celsius, it's the name of the function, and then Fahrenheit, that's what we actually going to input in the def function. For example, if the Fahrenheit is 75, we're going to input this value, this number, in our function, and then we're going to count a Celsius, and here we can write different Fahrenheits, and with this function we can count the Celsius.
Don't forget to subscribe.